sweet, I guess. Like, she'll try and get me to go outside and play with her, or just watch
Right.
movies with them as a family, or kind of talk to me during dinner, or see how school is. She really wanted to come visit me at school, but I wasn't too keen on that idea.
Right. And I know Siblings Weekend is coming up. Would
Yeah.
you be open to that at all for having her come up?
I mean, my mom mentioned it because she said she really wanted to come up with her. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would be totally opposed to it because
Yeah.
it's Siblings Weekend. I don't see why not, but it's not going to be. It's going to be weird.
Yeah. And it would probably be. It's not like you have to really be one-on-one with her. It's not a lot of pressure on you. You could probably go to a football game. They have a lot of activities that you could set up with her. Just something to think about, just to help build that relationship. But what are the reasons that you feel that you haven't told your parents about? Your parents, meaning your stepdad and your mother, about why you aren't so keen on the idea of your new sister.
I mean, we don't. When we talk about it, I don't say too much. If that makes sense. So they don't really understand the whole why.
Yeah.
I mean, they know that it's a weird situation, and I kind of want to like her, but I also don't like the situation. So it's that go between of, well, if I like her, is that me accepting the situation, or I don't know. I'm stuck in between those two spots right now.
So you don't want to show your parents that you have accepted it. You're kind of rebelling against that idea.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. And let's see. What are the reasons that you think that your parents got divorced?
I mean, my dad's work schedule was really rough. He used to work a lot of nights, a lot of weekends, things like that. So it was really just my mom and me, which was okay. But then she had work as well, so it kind of put a lot of stress on us during the week.
Yeah.
Especially after school when I had sports and things like that. So I think that kind of led into it. And then we had, I had to move schools. I went from middle school to high school.
Okay.
And around then, it was more strained because we had more sports and times were different.
Okay.
So I think it was around then that things started to, take a nosedive.
And when it started, did you ever notice before they actually told you that they were getting a divorce, kind of some fights between them, or were you ever concerned that divorce would be an option?
It was on my mind because anytime a parent fights, I guess it's on the kid's mind, will they get a divorce?
Yeah.
Is it going to end? Is it going to stop? But I never thought it would actually happen. It was on my mind. I didn't think it was actually going to hey, they're going to get divorced.
Right.
So I don't know. I kind of had a basic understanding of where they were in terms of their fights and things like that, but I didn't really see it as a huge issue until it was my senior year, and that's when they really decided to separate.
Okay. And did you ever feel? I know that it's very common for kids with divorced parents to blame it on themselves, to blame the divorce and the causes of the divorce on themselves. They always think it's them that created this situation between their parents. Did you ever feel that way, or do you still feel that way?
I mean, again, because a lot of it was because of just trying to get me between sports practices and games, and get me to and from school, and a lot of it was after school. It was on my mind that maybe I had something to do with it, but I didn't think about it too much because I figured if they were going to get divorced, they were going to do it anyways, whether it was with me or without me. So, I mean, it was a little bit, but not too much.
Okay. And what are the reasons, why do you feel, what stops you whenever you think of, hey, maybe I should just talk to my mom about this, just figure out what actually happened? Does she know how much it upsets you, the divorce?
Probably not, because again, we don't really talk about it too much. And if we do, it's very basic, more passive when it comes to information. She wants to talk about it, but I don't know. I don't see a huge reason to now since it's already done.
And what stops you? When you're about to say something to her, what stops you from sharing your feelings to her?
feel like it'll open up more conversations with her,
Mhm.
and then that'll lead it to, sort of like the future. Like, all right, will you ever, have this, child in our home that she's not your little sister? Will you ever
Mhm.
accept her like that? Will you ever accept kind of the new life that I've kind of been pushed into a little bit?
Right.
I kind of want to avoid those conversations, I guess.
And do you feel that way because you feel how like it'll affect your mom because of course she cares about you so much, but I feel like do you feel that she would kind of take on the fact that she made you so angry towards your little sister because of the divorce? Like, are you afraid of the burden that you'll put on her, your like emotional burden that you'll put on her?
Yeah, she does take things not hard, but she's very hard on herself when it comes to things like this.
Okay.
She felt really badly during the divorce and after the divorce for me because she was very nervous that I wouldn't take it well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think she's very emotional when it comes to things like this. She did take it almost harder than I took it originally for my own emotions.
Right.
Because she really was nervous that I was gonna, resent them for doing what they did.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm also hearing is that you are having a tough time. You'd like to talk to her about it. It's in your mind, but you don't want to put that emotional burden on her. So at the same time, you'd really love to have that open communication with her, but you don't want to put that much emotional burden on your mom for worrying about you because she already worries about you so much. But what I think that it would really help your relationship within the house to talk to her and almost figure it out just so that you can also have a relationship with your new younger sister. How do you think that you'd like to go about doing that if you were to talk to your mom or your little sister about what's been going on?
I feel like just getting the three of us together
Mm-hmm.
would be a good start, even if it is at like siblings weekend where it's kind of low key and fun.
Yeah.
Just to like get us in some sort of a talking mood,
Mm-hmm.
and then afterwards, we're that weekend just trying to discuss things while we're all together.
And do you feel like you're there yet emotionally, like ready to? Am I boring you?
Sorry.
Do you feel like you're ready emotionally? It's okay if you're not, but I think that a goal in our future would be to decide a time and a place and how you would want to go about having this open communication with your younger sister and your mom.
Yeah, I think at this point I'm there emotionally. I can handle the conversation. I mean, if we can talk about it, I'm sure that the three of us could talk about it.
Okay.